Hello, I have two games for you today. In the first game we are going to get a level 7 crawler if I remember correctly. So it's supply spec versus cost control. The economy specialists are still very strong on this patch. And I think we got a quite a good start here. His arc lights are very bad against our fangs. And the storms are okay. I kinda in this patch where you cannot deploy on the line. I think it's pretty good to do a deployment that you can play both defensively or aggressively. And I sometimes like to deploy round 1 Phoenix because you can jump drive it anywhere. I'm not sure at all how I want to play this. It's a bit weird that he's going Phoenix here. Maybe he was expecting me to build arc lights. And then he didn't want to go crawlers, which is like the normal thing for me to do. And this player, I think this was like 1950 MMR, I think, this game. And this guy always plays really defensively. I haven't played the new patch much yet, but what I've seen from Elio previously, he plays like very passive strategies with Vulcan, Phoenix and sledgehammers. So here I think it's very likely for him to pick the Mustangs here. There's no way he's going raid. And I kinda wanna try these crawlers. So that's why I'm gonna pick them. This is the first time I see this kind of card. I think they are super strong, but they are also really risky because when the enemy kills them, his stuff will level heavily. And I'm just transitioning into some kind of aggressive play here. I'm selling my storms, going crawlers here, jump driving the Phoenix. And it's kind of a good position to do it because he has very little amount of chaff. He's heavily invested into the Phoenix. His board is very vulnerable to any kind of aggro, I think. So he took the Mustangs, went 2 crawlers. And I'm deploying the crawlers on the line because I'm planning on selling them. Just wanted to use them for this round or see if there's a card that come next, like redeployment, deployment module, portable shield, stuff like that. And I placed it on the line so he will missile them. And I think it's pretty bad to use economy like that this early in the game. These Mustangs can't even kill them. And we got the redeployment. Now the crawler is gonna be a lot better. The shield airdrop would also be pretty good on the flanks, like here, but actually the shield airdrop would have been pretty good here also. I wonder if it was a mistake to use this as a frontliner here, because I kinda underestimated how powerful this unit actually is. Like it will just solo his whole board. It's going more into arc lights. And he is missiling it. It's a bit weird board for him where he's going Mustangs and arc lights. And he doesn't have any stuff in the front. That's why it's so easy to get his tower here. That's also why sometimes deploying in the back and switching to the front is good idea. Like it is really bad normally, but sometimes it gets the enemy to deploy his stuff, like here on round 2, because he thinks you are passive. But I've been trying this kind of plays a little bit. They don't feel that good, but sometimes they are actually pretty good, depending on what cards you get. And I still don't know what I wanna do here. There's option for a crawler carry here, like a big option, because all his arc lights are here. I can just target this tower. There's only 2 here if I remember correctly. It's gonna take forever. We insta-pick the senior. Like this, and we go forge. His whole position here is very vulnerable to fortresses. That's why I built them. Like he has so many arc lights that if we just go fortress with fang summoning and shield on the fangs, he cannot do anything. I redeployed to protect against the wasp swarm and moved the phoenix here. I think I sold the crawlers a bit early though. Like if I put them like here, so they are coming late into the battle, I think they will kill the whole enemy team. And he is leveling his arc lights and committing into them. There's no wasp swarm. There's so much economy in this patch that it's pretty crazy. You can do all sorts of things. It's a bit too much, but just have to play it, I guess. I think the new patch has been interesting. It's It's pretty fun to play, but I don't like it at all. But it's fun to learn like new stuff. So I'm enjoying playing it, but I don't think it's a good direction for the game. And we get another senior. So we have economy with cost control, and our fortress costs 300. So now it's basically the game has decided we cannot build any other unit than fortress in this game. It's just so cost efficient with the fang summoning. It's so much value. Where do I redeploy it? It's also lined up pretty well because I can protect my fortress with the existing shaft that I have with the redeployment. I still have 2 left here. 3 left here. So I can just go max amount of fortress each round. He's going oil. When the enemy is going oil, it means fire now or fire next turn, usually. And when I see the storms, I'm expecting him to go incendiary bomb before the oil runs out. He has like 1 unit that clears my shielded fangs. This one Mustang here. And I guess the storms a little bit. I've been seeing a lot of like people trying to go Arclight carry in this patch. I think it's even worse than before. And with the fortress, I think the fang summoning is by far the best technology for them. It's so much value. And the rocket punch is pretty good versus Mustangs especially. And you don't wanna go too early on the anti-air barrage, because usually people expect you to go it, so they will sell out of the phoenixes. And then you have a useless technology. It's kinda tempting to click the anti-air barrage, because like if you look at this board, the phoenix is close to the only damage he has against my fortress. But I think it's a big mistake usually to go it too early. And here I'm expecting him to go incendiary bomb and light this on fire. So I'm redeploying a fortress here. I could have gone for a barrier, but usually games like this end that the enemy goes fire, then they go melting point barrage, and the barrier is a bit useless. And you don't actually have to be that scared of the fire if you are on this many directions. And he goes so Vulcan with incendiary, that's a bit weird. Like with this many forts, I think the punch is a lot better than the barrier here. And we just dodge the fire like this. This is the only guy who will walk into it. And he has one senior. This is so crazy value, these 2 senior manufacturing specialists. There's no way he can compete with this. I think there's so much economy in the new patch that it kind of forces you to go war factories or boats or any kind of giants. And here I think none of them are particularly good for me or bad for me. He should probably take the overlords, right? So he has more damage on our fortress, and then go more Vulcans. I'll take the rhinos. Don't know what's best for me. We are closing in on every position. Going speed. Only one fang tech though. That's kind of weird. Usually like mech rates is pretty valuable here, I think. Yeah, I remember this. I took the anti-air barrage because I thought the only way we can actually lose this game is if he goes like overlords or raids and all our fangs die to the fire and we can't kill them. Or that's the only way this guy will survive the turn. It was a pretty one-sided game, but it was kind of funny. 2 senior manufacturing specialists and the level 7 crawler. I think we got a big lead from picking the crawler. Like he was kind of forced to go arc lights or some unoptimal units. And we have had a lot of options. We could continue the crawler direction at the beginning, go for some kind of rhino push or something like that, but we got the senior and went in the forts instead. But I think the level 7 crawler is pretty powerful on round 2, if you play it correctly. Is the another cost control? Yeah. It's probably supply rights. We had rhino spec also, which was kind of good. The storm starts don't feel that good to me. I think they were a lot better before. I don't know, not sure. Not really sure what to expect from these Asian players. So I'm just deploying like a very standard defensive lineup. And see what's up. He's doing very standard stuff as well. I really don't enjoy this kind of gameplay. The games I've played, it's like always standard versus standard, and it's the optimal strategy to go for. But I've been trying a lot of different things to shake it up. Haven't quite gotten there yet, but it's going in the right direction. So here we find the fang, and we will take it. It's kind of problematic if he goes mustangs, but mustangs are pretty bad against my board. So I think he should go like steel balls or marksman. I remember I was expecting him to go marksman because all these Asian dudes go for like a very standard flexible board. And I'll sell the storms and immediately transition into carry fang. I think this was right after the last game we watched, which was kind of funny. This was the first time I've ever seen a level 7 fang also. So I wanted to try it, like can you pivot into fang carry here? We go range round 2 and sell all our other units and just commit into this and see how it goes. He goes balls, which is also kind of good for him. I have played fang carry in the previous patches like a lot, so I know the ins and outs of it pretty well. But I think this is the first time I'm doing it on this patch. These guys are pretty crazy though. Not that crazy. Can't even kill the balls. But all the fang strategies, it takes a while from them to get going. You lose most of the early game rounds and then you just win in the late game. Speed spec quite good for us. Speed is really important with the fangs, so they can close in on targets like mustangs, which have a bigger range, and mustang is the usual counter for fangs. I'm placing my stuff like this, so if he goes fire, then the fire lands like here or here, and the high level guys will walk without being on the fire. And this Vulcan was pretty surprising. I didn't expect it, but it was probably a good play. And here is the problem of the level 7 fangs, it just instantly levels. So now we have two big problems, the level 2 Vulcan and the balls that keep leveling, because they will always get my tower. Like you see, these are pretty useless now because the fight is already over here. But as the game goes on, it's pretty problematic to have a like level 6 balls here. And I go the laser sight instead of senior attack specialist because I have the level 7 fang. It's so crazy with the laser sight because it outranges fire and stuff like that. So I'm just protecting it to carry me the whole game. So I'm just shielding the fangs so they can clear everything. The Vulcan is pretty bad against the shield. And while I'm deploying like this, his phoenixes are distracted here. Okay, I'm doing oil to slow down the balls. I think this is like a terrible play, just waste of money. I think I should never do play like this. And he actually took the Assault Vulcan card. So he has 40% more HP, this guy has a shield and it's level 2. So I was kinda overestimating how fast my fangs can do anything. So this is a terrible round for us. We are just getting grilled by the Vulcans. But this is stuff I don't know. It's very hard for me to figure out like actually how strong is a level 7 fang. Now I know. I think even though we are on the verge of dying and we don't have any, I think I sold an arc light maybe that was leveled. Like it's bad value for the module, but I think I have to take it for the late game and just hope this is enough for us to survive here. He's just going mass Vulcans. It's pretty hard when you are playing Vulcans against fangs. It's pretty hard to know when you should counter like fortresses. Like preemptively. Because there's so many fangs everywhere, you need to deploy like too many Vulcans. So that's the problem with the Vulcan defense, I think. It's so cost inefficient to put them everywhere. Like now these guys are popping off when they aren't getting grilled. Maybe the oil did something here. I think we could have actually died this turn without the oil. But the oil costs 150, so it's certainly better for me to do like one missile for these steel balls 2 rounds in a row, I think, instead of doing like this kind of oil. And the fangs keep getting bigger and bigger. Another portable shield. I don't think I should take it, because the fort, like a level 2 fortress here. Oh, I guess we're selling it, but yeah, we skip it. The forts aren't dying to the volcans, they are dying to the melting points, and if he goes melting points, it doesn't matter if there's a shield on the fortress or not. And it also blocks my slot for the enhancement module. And I'm going Ignite because he has so many Vulcans. And he needs a shield break now, so I'm expecting him to go melting points. So he's probably gonna have like 6 giants on the board next turn. And now we are missiling them. Yeah, 5 giants. Not surprising. No fire though, only range. And with Ignite you don't need to level the fangs so aggressively. Like if there's only giants. The missile doesn't hit. Oh, now it does. I guess it's quite good. Will these guys carry it around? The laser sight is so good. It's outranging everything. Did I click this? Yeah. This is kind of problematic. He gets the Mustangs. Or I think he should go the Mustangs. The rate is bad versus the Ignite. The Wasps are... I don't know, maybe the Wasps could do something. But it's probably Mustangs. Or Wasps and sell the Wasps maybe. And do more Giants. And I'm picking the raids and going armor just to delay the Mustangs a little bit. I don't know if it's a good play. It's probably pretty bad play actually. I think I should have gone for the Wasps, sell the Wasp and go Rocket Punch maybe. But maybe I couldn't sell it because I wanted to sell the enhanced guy. I don't remember anymore. The enhancement module, by the way, is pretty weird this patch also, because you get so many new units and some of the units you get are completely useless, so you kind of wanna sell out of them. But then you have the unused enhancement module. There's fire, Mustangs. So here the rate is doing something. Maybe here as well. It tanks quite a lot. Even though it dies pretty fast to the melting points, maybe it's still good. And maybe the punch wasn't play against the EMP melting points. And the Vulcan fire dies out pretty fast. Usually in these fang scenarios, if you win one side, then you win the second side with fang summoning, because the fire will run out. That's what usually happens with mass fort fangs, in my experience. Now we get the EMP. And we have the oil available. So I remember playing this. I thought it probably wouldn't work, but let's try it. Like this EMP does 35,000 damage and our normal shield is 40,000. So we need these guys to do 5,000 damage to the shield before the oil drops. And I don't think it's possible. I'm not sure. But that's what I'm hoping for. I think it's the best use for the oil anyway. Try to burn all his stuff here. And we go 3 fortress here. And the level 1 forts are pretty good because our fangs have ignite, so when they summon more stuff they do quite a lot of damage to the giants. So I think if we win this side heavily, we always win this side because of the fang summoning. And this is the last round of the game. I'm just using all my resources. And he didn't even shield this, which was kind of crazy. I would have loved to see what happens with the EMP. But now he burns. I think we would have won this game anyway, even if the fire won't go through. But it's hard to know. I think in this game I misjudge a lot on how bad or good the unit is, like the power level of the unit. And I think it felt like a very viable strategy to go into carry Fang here. If I remember correctly, he started with sledges and arcs maybe, which are one of the worst units against carry Fang. I think the absolute worst start is probably like Arclight Phoenix, if you don't count like marksman starts. Because sometimes they commit more into it, then you just go Fang Shield and they don't do anything. But yeah, it was kind of nice to test these kind of strategies. I'm testing a lot of these scenarios to understand better what kind of directions I can take on early game. Thank you for watching.